Hey guys, so San Diego Comic-Con open registration officially starts tomorrow at 9 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I wanted to give you guys some tips on how I got in San Diego Comic-Con, and hopefully it'll help you guys in some way. So one of the biggest things that really increased my chances of getting in was getting into a buyer group. And so what you could do is you could just go on, Facebook, connect with people on Facebook, Reddit forums, and just try to get in a buyer group. And what that essentially does is that, so each registration code is good for up to 3 people. So once you get a hit on your browser, you can actually buy, you can actually buy badges for up to 3 people if they have a valid member ID. So, imagine, all 20 of you in a group all have your laptops and computers open. A couple of you are bound to get a hit up on your browser. So you can buy up to 3 people. So, versus just having, by yourself, it really just does increase your chances of getting in significantly. The odds of actually getting in San Diego Comic-Con aren't that great. They only have so many, I read somewhere, they only have like 55,000 badges available, and, over like 1 million people, I'm pretty sure that statistic is wrong, but 1 million people actually apply. So, that's like a 6.11% chance. I could show you guys the statistics right over here. So, it really is a very slim chance, but getting into a buyer's group really just significantly boosts your chances of getting in. So I had 3 friends of mine that really wanted to get in, and we all really wanted to go together. So what I did was, once I got into a buyer group, I gave them, all my 3 registration codes. And I actually just kind of I made one extra for myself just to see how, the process goes. And so, the process is that, once you get your registration code, which comes in your email 48 hours before open registration starts. So that's like on Thursday. So what it is you'll get an email with your registration code and an Expo Logic waiting room. And so on the day of, Comic-Con open registration, you'll go in and click on that waiting room link. You'll be brought into a virtual waiting room, and you'll just see this blue circle of death is what they call it. And you just kind of have to sit there. And so what I did was I had multiple computers, and now I think you can have, I'm not really sure on this, but I think you can have up to 2 browsers per registration code. Don't quote me on that, but I'm not really sure on how much browsers you can actually have open. I think I just had that one open. So, but you always just want to have another laptop and have that, I think one registration code, and you can have another one open on another laptop. You can have up to 2 browsers, I think, per registration code. So, so once you get in, usually the badges will be sold out within the hour. It only just takes 1 hour. And you only have 15 minutes to get out your credit card and actually buy it. So you want to have your credit card handy. You want to have it on you during open registration, and you only get 15 minutes to put in your information, and you'll put in your credit card number, how many badges you want, and all that kind of stuff. And so what happened to me was really cool. So I got into the waiting room. I didn't even have my credit card. I really just did not expect to get in. I just wanted to see what the process was, because I already gave my registration codes to my buyer group. So I kind of had them all do it, because they had their own coordination office set up with all their laptops and everything. So they had their system going, but I just wanted to see the process for myself. And within the first 18 minutes, I got a hit of my browser. And I was able to get, for my 2 friends, I was able to get Thursday all the way up to Sunday badges. And I think within the first 18 minutes, preview night was already sold out. So I think my buyer group, they weren't able to get for my 2 friends, but they were able to get for me. And they were able to get preview night, I guess all 4 days, preview night, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So I was super lucky to get that. And for my 2 other friends, I was able to get them Thursday through Sunday. So it all worked out for me. And I know some people who have, it has taken them years. They've tried every year, and they just could not get in. I've heard people, trying to get in every year, and one person, it's taken them 6 years, and a good friend of mine, it's taken them 3 years to actually get in. So that's just the reality of it. 6.11% chance of actually getting in is real, but there are some lucky people that actually get in. So yeah, that's basically the process. You'll want to get a member ID, and you want to make one for, make extra, make one for your dog, make one for your grandma, make extra member IDs, because what you can do is, if you have a lot of laptops, you can have each registration code. I mean, you can have a browser open with that member ID, and each registration code can buy up to 3 people. So then you can have, you get your friends together, borrow their laptops, go to the library, and just make all these make all these member IDs before the deadline. I don't know when the deadline is. I think it's like November 27th or something. But just get all these laptops, and that will definitely increase your chances. And so and another thing, what open registration essentially is that so what you have is return registration. So return registration is for people who have attended previously, and they actually have a 50% chance of getting in. And so that's usually around January. That usually happens around January. I think this year it already happened like in December, or I don't know, like around like in the fall. It happened earlier. So what essentially that is so return registration for people who went last year, and they get a 50% chance of going in, and whatever badges are left over, they essentially just get turned over to open registration. It's just a free-for-all in that sense. And it's a free-for-all for either one, but I mean, basically left over. I mean, it really isn't fair when I first heard about that, but it is what it is. Once you get in, I mean, you can actually, apply again. And, once you get in, you get in. That's the thing. So once you get in, and, the next year when, return registration rolls around, what you could do is, since you have that 50% chance of getting in, and, even though if you're not going to go, the next year, or, if you want to hold your place, you can actually just a lot of people buy Sunday badges. A lot of people in my buyer group, what they end up doing is, even though they don't have plans of going, they want to hold their spot for, increase their chances, for return registration, they'll just end up buying Sunday badges. And Sunday badges, I think, are like $45, $35, I'm not sure. But just to hold their place, so that, when the next year comes, they'll have that increased chances versus that 5%, 6% chance during open registration. So that's that. And so once you get, once you get the actual badge, they'll send it in, I think at least 2 weeks before, I'm not sure, I think it's like 2 weeks before, if I can remember correctly, it's like 2 weeks before Comic-Con actually starts. So I think Comic-Con is from like July like 19 and that kind of week. 2 weeks before, I think, or like a couple of weeks before, you'll get your box in the mail. And so what they did last year is it'll come into this envelope here, and they actually have the system designed where it's really discreet in that like as you can see here, it's CCI. No one will know that it's coming from the San Diego Comic-Con. They don't even have San Diego Comic-Con on anywhere, so no one can really steal your package. So it'll come into this like really nice box here, and it's magnetic here, and so it's really nice. It'll come in with a manual, and your badge will be right here. And so this is one for 2017. I think it was when the new season of Walking Dead came out. It was really cool. I got all of these days. It was amazing. Amazing opportunity. You guys gotta go. It was just phenomenal. And if you're ever going to post on social media that of your badges, make sure to cover up your name, because people out there can actually copy your badge. They can copy it, so be sure, guys, to, whenever you're posting on social media, to take out, just like blur out your name in some way. Don't even show it, because people out there can steal it. Your badge is very valuable. So I think that's all. Good luck, guys, for open registration tomorrow, and I wish you all the best. May the odds be ever in your favor.